You can't tolerate the lactose or your coworkers. Quit your job if you can. Don't quit your job just because, but if you can quit your job, quit your job. If you can't quit your job, make a plan to quit your job. Make a plan. Might take a year, might take 2, might take 3. Make a plan. Take that class afterwards, or just start working on something, or saving money, whatever. Make a plan to quit your job. Don't work for anybody else. These are end times.
He'll never give up, he'll stay till the fight's won. Bob Hansen is there. Bob Hansen, your wacky next door neighbor. Bob Hansen is there. Bob Hansen. Yowza.
Rock and roll, daddy. What's going on, Bob Squad? Thanks for joining me again for this episode of Wacky Next Door Neighbor. Odie, my co-producer, is on one of his beds. That is right, one of his beds for a 22-pound dog. Not counting mine. Mine is occupied by our producer, Chloe.
I'm so furry.
Thank you, Chloe. What are we talking about? This one's not going to be too long. I'm going to get cut to the wrestling really fast. I am filming this right after an amazing weekend at Grand Comedy Club. 4 shows. Opening for my man Zoltan Cassis, who was headlining. He sold out all 4 of them, and I was there for the ride. Thanked him for the house, brother, for all you wrestling fans. You got that? But anyway, no, what an amazing weekend at Grand Comedy Club, 340 Grand Avenue. Escondido, feeling neato from your head to your feeto, on the edge of your seato. They won't make you bleedo, shooting second like Greedo in your bikini or your Speedo, daddy. I guess stop saying that now for a while. Amazing weekend. I got some great stuff on film, and it was good to see my buddy Zoltan, and buddy Rui was an outstanding host. Great guest spots from Josh Nelson, Jason Lawhead, absolutely hilarious guys. So I was happy. I got to be a comedian for a weekend. It was nice. Not too much to say, but I'm getting ready for the big and mini advertisement, I guess. April 11th, Thursday, headlining the Gold Room at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. There'll be a link in the description. I'll mention it again at the end. And I'm filming the Big Dry Bar in Provo, Utah on March 15th, so I'm getting ready for that. That's got to be squeaky clean amongst a few other rules and that kind of stuff, so the pressure's on. But that's the funny thing. Everyone tells me who's done it already. I have a handful of friends who've done it. Well, just think of it like another set. Don't think of it like you're filming your Netflix special. Well, good for you. It's not how Bob works. Nah. I get fired up, baby. I get the heart pumping. I get the blood boiling. I get the ice water flowing through the veins. Diesel fuel pumping out of every orifice. Daddy, we tear your groin from Denver to Des Moines. We got the mode of a toad. We got the habit of a rabbit. We'll do the thing, baby. No, I like to get fired up. I work because I'm better on stage with some ants in the pants, some butterflies in the stomach, some piss and vinegar, Jack. I'm better like that. That's how Bob works. We need the energy. We need the electricity, the excitement in the air, Daddy. Last week I was talking about getting to the movies early for movie trivia with Greek goddess Maria Menounos and watching all the previews, and Nicole Kidman says inspiring things. Again, she's drinking a Coca-Cola to remind you to drink Coca-Cola. I drink Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero, which tastes just like regular Wild Cherry Pepsi, none of the sugar, none of the calories. But anyway, and then she looks right at the camera, she sips her Coke, she says something about dreams and imagination or some crap. And then you see your feature film. And if it's not a Marvel movie, you can get up at the end, get up when the credits start and urinate out of your penis like a real man. That's how I do it. Urinate out of my penis. Your good old-fashioned red-blooded American dick pisser. That's how I do it. My father was a dick pisser. His father before him was a dick pisser. Long line of dick pissers I come from. It's the men's line. Women's line is too long. My grandfathers pissed out of their dicks while fighting in World War II, probably. At some point. That's how I do it. I don't care if everyone's AF as fuck, man. I curse too much. Did I get demonetized? Wait, nothing's monetized on this. Okay then, we move on. We pretend that didn't happen. Not safe for work. Nothing's safe for work. You know, it's not safe for work. Going to work, you can get canned any time, and if you work your ass off, they'll give you a slice of pizza you don't want because it makes you sick. You can't tolerate the lactose or your coworkers. Quit your job if you can. Don't quit your job just because. But if you can quit your job, quit your job. If you can't quit your job, make a plan to quit your job. Make a plan. Might take a year, might take 2, might take 3. Make a plan. Take that class afterwards, or just start working on something, or saving money, whatever. Make a plan to quit your job. Don't work for anybody else. These are end times. They're end times. I was so happy I got to do this weekend. It's a daunting thing. I think it feels like more and more people are becoming and stand-up comedians, or maybe or is it just the media is exposing me to all of them? I don't know. It's another debate for another day, and I don't have the answers. Do you, Skeletor? Nope. We're just all a bunch of royal boobs at the end of the day. At the beginning of the day. Hell, at high noon. A couple of royal boobs, me and you, Skeletor. I love performing in front of Zoltan's audience because they're older than him. I'm 8 years older than him, but they're older than me. They're all like, 50-ish and couples, which is crazy. But they seem to like me, and which is nice. But there are certain members of his audience that's when I find out who are more my people than his. I mean, they came to see him, don't get me wrong, but they're that kind of, mid-late 30s, early, maybe 35 to 45-year-old. Those guys who are nice enough, they're friendly. They're going to make you cross the street, but you might keep the conversation. They're brief. They're a little wacky, but I like it. I gave away my card, got a few more Instagram people. Oh, it's a sick thing when you can't just worry about the jokes. I'm also thinking about a move. I got to move in less than 2 weeks. I'm so excited about that. I haven't packed anything. Packing the toys and getting the dogs ready will be the real challenge. Everything else is crap. I'm going to pack some Transformers shortly after this. G.I. Joe and Master of the Universe is going to have to stay put till the last minute. Skeletor won't have it any other way. We'll be ready. We'll be just fine. I'm excited to my neighbors shut up. Okay, good. I hope I'm talking too loud. No, I'm not. One of my neighbors is driving me banana. Her name is Cora, or I call her Cora the Explorer because it rhymes. So she's one of those neighbors that says hi to the dogs, and which is fine, but I walk the dogs a lot, and it takes longer, and her visit, especially her session with Chloe, just takes longer each time, and it's always she's weird, doesn't say anything to me really, which is also fine. But the real thing, it's the creepiness of it. She stalks the alley, she's just behind the alley, and I'm usually in my living room, not near the alley, so I'm wondering if she sees Chloe, who's always on my bed, and she's too close, and she's just always there, and it's a weird situation. I'm not comfortable. I just got a vibe. You're watching my dogs too closely. The woman above me, who also has a dog, has the same issue with her. It's not all in my head. And apparently the woman lives with some dude we never see, and I'm told there's all kinds of drama going on, but since Cora the Explorer isn't directly above me, she's diagonally above me, I actually have no idea. But it's just, how when Jamie Lee Curtis would see Michael Myers, and he's just standing there, but it's also Halloween, he's wearing a mask, and it's the late 70s, so who knows, but she doesn't really know, but he is also a big, imposing guy, and she's weird looking, she's always wearing the same outfit, it's always a poncho and Ugg boots or something, so it's Cora's uniform, and, or, how Jason Voorhees, you watch the movies and you go, he moves so slow, I can't just run away. Look how slow he moves, and you're just he's barely walking, and you're sprinting, he's not going to catch you. But he's inexplicably around the corner, no matter how far and fast you run. That's her. She's just there. You never know how and why. She's just so quiet. That's the thing. She's always smoking cigarettes. So, I'm not a fan. My Chloe. Chloe's a fan. Chloe likes everyone who pays attention to her. Odie snubbed her. He walked right past her instead of getting petted and just peed on a bush. Because Odie's my man. He's not here. He's sleeping because they both want to go out. I'm going to wrap up the non-wrestling portion of Wacky Next Door Neighbor with that. Please, Claremont Mesa Boulevard on San Diego, April 11th, Thursday. I bet some of you guys can't wait for me to stop plugging the show, but it's important, so we'll do that. Let's sell the place out. Let's sell all 60 tickets. Let's get an ass every 18 inches. Daddy will cut the electricity with a knife. Tension in the air. Hi, Chloe. So yes, come to that show. Click the link. We're going to have a good time. At the dry bar thing in Utah, there's going to be a lot of rules. But I don't expect you to come to Utah because I don't know anyone there. San Diego, mic drop. There's going to be no rules. And at that point, regardless of how Utah goes, at that San Diego show, April 11th, I'm going to have nothing to lose one way or another. So it's going to be pretty bananas. And I'm going to try to get the great Jesse Egan with me there as well. So that's a comedy show you don't want to miss. All right. Things, words, wrestling part is now. Then now, together forever, unless we don't commit any hideous crimes. This is SmackDown, February 2nd, Groundhog Day, and how fitting because history repeats itself. That's Odie, my co-host. Well, please welcome Chloe, our producer.
I'm furry.
Thank you, Chloe. And I am Bob, commander of the Bob Squad. All right, you crazy cats. This is the Hulu edition, not little enough commercial interruption. We recap the Royal Rumble. Oh, probably shouldn't say it like that anymore. But there's a long recap. It's a big, big recap. My neighbors are so goddamn loud. You shouldn't, after 2 weeks, you shouldn't see me in this setting anymore. I'll be in a different place. I don't have to listen to the nonsense. We're getting stalked by a different neighbor who's obsessed with the doggies. Her name's Cora. I call her Cora the Explorer. This is not part of the wrestling thing. I'm filming the wrestling thing first, so maybe I'll mention that in the regular Wacky Next Door Neighbor episode 3, 4? How many have we done? Odie? Thank you. Number 4 is this one.
Yeah, it looks like according to this, I'm furry.
Hi, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe. Logan Paul is here. That's a surprise. He's making more and more appearances, which I guess makes sense. It's WrestleMania season, so he's still doing a thing with Kevin Owens, so I guess there'll be another match. Maybe it will be in Perth, which I guess is in Australia, allegedly. We don't know. No one's ever been there. Or maybe they will wait till WrestleMania, the star-studded spectacular, the granddaddy of them all. Logan Paul and Kevin Owens are jaw-jacking, and Logan Paul has a fun line. He says, "You're playing checkers and I'm playing Go Fish," which I thought was kind of funny. He does such a great job of being a modern day, which makes sense, he's under 30, a modern day arrogant prick, and still kind of being the dumb one and the coward at the end of each segment, and still being the heel. He's walking the line of being the cool heel, but he's really not. He's got his sick burns, to use the parlance of our times, but he definitely does not look good in the end of each segment, even when he's cheating and he's... Oh, Chloe, what? Goddamn dogs. Okay. Anyway, he's going to sit on commentary, which is great. He's got the gift of gab. Kevin Owens is going to wrestle Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller will be at ringside in a funny shirt. Kevin Owens and Austin Theory have a match. They've wrestled 400 times on television. This is 401. Owens wins. I think their brass knuckles trick that didn't work at the Rumble does work this time. He pins Austin Theory, which I think they're just setting up for... Chloe, what? What do you want? You went out like an hour ago. Come here. Come here. Be on camera, okay? With someone else can produce. Come here. Up. Say hi to Daddy. I love you too. Okay. Yes, you're my girl. You're my girl. Yeah, furry smile. Who got a big furry smile? You got a big furry smile. Okay. See hi to the camera? See hi, you can't. Okay, you don't give a shit. I love you. I love my baby girl. Kevin Owens, she's getting scratchy. So let's just watch me pet my dog. Is that cool? Can we just do that? Doggies get hugs. She gets her hugs. So they're setting up some kind of Owens and Austin, not Austin, Owens and Logan Paul. I'm distracted because he's my furry girl. She's my furry girl. I get distracted. Yes, I do. So they're setting it up again. They'll be doing it. So I don't know. Are they taking it all the way to Mania? In my head, I thought Logan Paul was going to wrestle Bad Bunny. I thought they were going to just go all the way with it. Whatever. Bianca Belair is backstage and has a confrontation with Logan Paul, who's talking to the very British Nick Aldis. And this was fun. I think it makes sense that sometimes the male and female competitors, as they're called, they can't call them wrestlers, but now you probably can. They're able to interact with one another, and she gave him attitude right back. They didn't have her back down and be a coward. She was talking her sass, and I don't know if that shoves Logan Paul into a thing with not going to be Montez Ford. It's weird because Montez and Bianca are married, and it's acknowledged on TV because they have their own We're a Couple reality show, whatever it is. But I think Bobby Lashley would be the bigger opponent physically and the bigger star to wrestle Logan Paul if they're doing that. But I think the Bobby Lashley group is still going to be with the Spooky Town people for quite a while. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe they won't. Oh, maybe the Bobby Lashley group will be with the evil Santos Escobar group after Santos gets finished beating the LWO guys 5 more times. I don't know. But that was interesting to see, just to have the interaction. Speaking of Santos Escobar, he is at a winery. I am not kidding. He is at a winery. Chloe, what is the problem? I'm sorry, guys. Come here. Chloe. God, she's so dumb. Yeah, I know, baby. Okay. The Escobar team is at a winery for some reason, and he's calling them family, and she's panting really loudly. This is how she wakes me up. Chloe and I have this relationship based on neither one allowing the other one to sleep. I wake her up from her naps. I tell her she's my furry girl, and she won't let me rest ever. Ever. Ooh, this is a good segment. Damage control. So, was backstage, and the oh, she says I was racist. I'm sorry. The Kabuki Warriors, was it the Kairi Sane and Asuka, and the SmackDown Women's Champion Io Sky were talking in Japanese, but for some reason they let their last line slip in English. Bayley is done tonight. And of course they walk away, and because the camera is still on, Bayley walks around the corner. You can see that Bayley heard everything, and the audience goes, "Aw," and it was great. Sympathy on a baby face. We probably go to a break. They do this really weird Seth Rollins package talking about Cody Rhodes. Is she in frame? It'd be hilarious if she is. I don't know if you can see the top of her head. I'll find out later. Yeah, my girl, my baby girl. Yeah, so Seth Rollins did this weird, they had him narrate this weird package saying, what kind of champion do you want to be to Cody Rhodes? He said, do you want to be an Ultimate Warrior? Or do you want to be a Ric Flair? Which is weird because they've been on good, and she just hit the camera. That was not me. I'm leaving it. Okay, that was you. You hit the tripod. You hit the tripod. This is all your fault. It's not funny. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. It's not funny. Okay. I forgive you. Stay with me here. Do you want to be a Sid or a Hulk? No. Do you want to be a Warrior or a Ric Flair? Which is weird. They're on good terms with a Warrior. Do you want to be a Sid or a Terry Funk? Like, okay, they're not really on good terms with Sid, it doesn't seem. Or do you want to be a Hulk Hogan or a Dusty Rhodes? And they just had Hulk Hogan do ads for St. Petersburg at the Royal Rumble 6 days prior to this. So why are they trashing Hogan, Warrior, Sid? And it doesn't make any sense. They're praising Flair was on a competition selling energy drinks that can kill you, and oh god, I don't know. It's all a giant issue. Nice to see Terry Funk get some love and be thrown in there. I thought they were going to say Harley Race, but they said Terry Funk. Either or would have been fantastic. Bayley is there with Damage Control. This is a wonderful segment. They're setting up Bayley. Is she gonna choose Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania? I gotta fix this tripod. It's driving me banana. Is Bayley, hair in my mouth, thank you, Chloe. is Bailey going to challenge Io Sky now, or is she going to challenge Rhea Ripley? So, of course, Bailey does the thing, and she sees her friends giggling behind her, but they don't see her seeing them and whatever. And she says one line in Japanese, which I have a sneaking suspicion they just taught Bailey that one line in Japanese. And the people go, oh, when Bailey said something in Japanese, and they don't even know what she said. That's the power of a good story. They don't even, the words don't matter, it's how you say them. The fucking fur. Ugh. Alright, guys. Fur, man. Chloe's very furry. What happened? Oh yeah, anyway, she says the line in Japanese and then she repeats it in English. What are you laughing about, or something like that, or I know you're laughing at me, or something like that. And then she yells at them for, being bad friends, and she helped them and helped their careers, and, and she doesn't deserve this, and yada, yada, yada. And they jump her. She still lets the Kabuki Warriors surround her from the back, and they jump her, they beat her up. And I loved this next part. Bailey's in the corner, she's selling, she reaches under the ring apron, it's the hardest part of it, and she grabs a pipe, and she fights back, and she was prepared. I'm going to tell you why I love this in a minute. She hits the attacking heels, and they have to do the stomach and then the back, just like they do with the chair, which is fine. And I have no idea if it's a real pipe or not, or whatever. Who knows? But the point is, the babyface Bailey the new babyface had a weapon ready, and she fought off the attacking heels and had a standoff with Io Sky with the championship. And in a microphone, she said something about she's obviously challenging Io Sky at WrestleMania, which is the first official announced match of WrestleMania. It's Io Sky and Bailey. Fun fact. There you go. How do you like that? So here's why I love this, and they do this again a little later on. They did it with Owens earlier. They do it with Bobby Lashley later, but I'll just talk about it now. I notice with the more and more Triple H has a hand in these things, the baby faces are getting a little smarter. Like, they're not being laid out. And yes, there's something valuable to, I guess they used to say it was the old Kevin Sullivan style, heat. Beat up the babyface, simply on a babyface. And you can still do that, because by the way, we got 8 weeks to do it. I'm sure they're going to lay out Bailey, and she'll probably wrestle each Kabuki Warrior in a singles match. We'll get to Dakota in a minute. I'm sure they'll do Bailey Asuka and Bailey Kairi Sane probably on SmackDown, or maybe she'll wrestle one of them on Perth or whatever. I don't really know. But, people will be in the way, of course, for her to get the Io. They got to do to keep each other busy. And Naomi just returned there. Maybe Bailey and Naomi will have a tag match against the Kabuki Warriors, and it'll end. Who cares? But I noticed the more and more Triple H is in charge and officially in charge, and I think he's the COO now or whatever. The more he's got the full charge of creative, the baby faces are getting a little smarter. They're not getting outsmarted, and they're not showing too much fear. I was complaining about them crying too much, and I will again, but they're not beat up and scared and weak and running away. It's not purposely sad like when the old man was in charge. Let's just make them sad. No, Bailey has plenty of weeks for the damage control gals to play the numbers game and be sneaky and beat her up. Well, and I don't say sneaky because they're Japanese and that's the old stereotype with the old wrestling. But no, they're going to be heels are sneaky. Okay, so stop. Not that. But they have plenty of 8 weeks to do all that, and I'm sure they'll leave Bailey laying a time or two between now and then, and that'll be fine. The real sympathy on Bailey is, how mean that they're bad friends to her. That's the part of the story people are really identifying with, not they gave her their finishing move. Okay, well, she's a wrestler, so we don't feel too bad, but they were such lousy friends after a year and a half and everything. They betrayed her, and they were the mean girls to her, and that's where the sympathy is. So I love this. I love all of this. I was very, very happy. There's a 6-man tag, and with Bobby Lashley's group faces the Spooky group, and Beef. There was no match. I thought there was a match. Like the heels powdered, and they didn't ring a bell, and then we went to break, and everyone vanished. B-Fab, who I guess was the female manager, valet wrestler, whatever, for the all those guys who got fired. She is, what were they, the third row or whatever, where they should have been sitting? I don't know, she's sided with the Bobby Lashley spooky group now, so. The Bobby Lashley not spooky group, they're fighting the spooky group. Paul Ellering is there. He's 80. I just want to say that. Braun Breaker is backstage. He's signing a contract. Now, this is peculiar. He's standing next to the very British Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis wants Braun Breaker to sign a contract with SmackDown because that benefits Nick Aldis, the manager of SmackDown. And he says, he uses an expression, just put your John Hancock on the, LOL, huh? Your John Hancock on the contract there, which is a term we use in America for put your signature on something. Because I guess John Hancock was the first or last guy to sign the Declaration of Independence. I don't know. Nobody knows. Lots of people know, Bob. But anyway, Nick Aldis says, why would a British guy use an expression tied with the American Declaration of Independence? I just didn't, Details. What millennial wrote this? Jade Cargill walks in, and again, the men and women don't live in completely separate universes. If they have the same manager, even if they have nothing to do with each other, they're going to run into each other. Jade Cargill walks in, and nothing really happens. I think Adam Pearce was there. He's bald, and she didn't sign anything yet, and neither did Braun Breaker, I don't think. And whatever, so we'll see Braun Breaker on Raw probably. A lot of people think it'll be Braun and Gunther, and Braun will just completely fill all the Lesnar holes. Yikes. That sounds like the least incarnate thing I want to do. Mi Chin still wrestles there, and she wrestled Tiffany Stratton, debuting from NXT. I thought Tiffany was excellent in her one match. She had two matches, but the first of the two with Becky Lynch in NXT, and it made me look very highly at Tiffany Stratton and her attitude, character, athleticism, yada, yada, yada. I didn't see it. I don't think Michin was a good opponent for her. Unfortunately, the finish, Tiffany does a big old moonsault, and she overshot it, which Io Sky, when she was Io Shirai in NXT, whatever, used to overshoot it all the time and just kind of hit the arms and chest on the person, which all that's doing just looks like it's murdering your knees. And when you hit it right, it murders your knees, by the way. So Tiffany, it was an overshoot, and they did the replay, and it was enough to get the pin, obviously, on Michin, because that was the finish. But I don't know. I think I don't think it made Tiffany look too great, and I thought she was going to be a big, shiny new toy all over the show. I don't think the debuting or the teasing of the debut and the involvement of Jade Cargill is really doing Tiffany any favors. I think the best thing that can happen to Tiffany is they put Jade on Raw. I think Tiffany and Naomi can keep each other busy, but other than that, I don't know. Hoping the best. The Bloodline. Now this is the big thing everyone's talking about. I'm going to get water, prevents fatigue and headaches. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Solo, Sikoa, Jimmy Uso. They are in the ring. Roman's cuts an amazing promo. Is he cooking him, to use the parlance of our times, with Seth Rollins? He tore down Seth Rollins in so many great ways. But I make, yeah, you're right, I do work 1/10 as much as you do, and I make 10 times what you do. Who would you rather be? And you're the workhorse this, and here's what happens to horses, and now you got no leg, and you're limping like this, and he imitates me, yada, yada. Cody Rhodes shows up and gives his speech, and this has the internet divided, but the internet is divided by nature. Cody Rhodes, long story short, guys, he comes out, whoa, whatever, and he has a nice suit. He's wearing a very nice suit. Odie, come here. Be on camera with me. You're my friend. You're my friend. Cody Rhodes has a nice suit, and he tells Roman Reigns, to finish the story, do I have to beat you at WrestleMania and take your title, or do I just have to take everything from you? And he says, and I'm going to take that from you, but I'm not going to do it at WrestleMania. And The Rock is coming out. The Rock is back at, he's 52, 50, whatever he is. It looks great, blah, 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 blah. But of course, the new THQ boss is back, and he says something to Cody and hugs him, and Cody smiles and leaves, and then The Rock and Roman stare at each other for 8 seconds. We just go off the air. We don't know who backed down first. We don't know if they got separated. We don't know. They just go off the air, implying that The Rock will fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. This is the nature of things. Everyone complains, and then everyone complains about the complainers, and then the initial complainers complain about the ones complaining about them. The key word, hi Odie, is complain. I know you're my good little fellow. You're my good little fellow. You're the greatest little man. Yes, you are. Such a wonderful little guy. Cody Rhodes. I'm on team Cody and Roman at Mania. Finish it. I didn't lose sleep over it. I kind of sighed. I was disappointed. It remains to be seen. What do they do in Australia? This alleged Perth place, which no one's seen. Will they have an event the day after that called After Perth? I don't know. Will they play Hey It's Your Perth Day? Don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know. I feel a lot of people are still saying, why can't you do night 1 Rock Roman and night 2 Cody Roman? I have no issue with that, except for the fact that logistically and just politically, I don't see Roman wrestling 2 nights in a row at WrestleMania. Then again, the old man's not there anymore. So he's not there to force Brock on the show. He's not there to make sure the right guys get what they want. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure, here's what I believe. It's still not decided. That's what I think. I think the back and forth between Rock and Roman and Heyman are flying. Probably not so much Cody, but he's probably ready to go with the flow and step up, and I'm sure he has a suggestion or two ready, which is always good, and I think Triple H likes that. It seems like Triple H likes him. Triple H is a businessman as well. Triple H is probably he can't lose any more hairs off his head, but maybe the hairs are falling out of his beard with going back and forth with Roman and Heyman and Rock, and oh yeah, the lawsuit about all the most terrible things in the world with his father-in-law involved. Yeah, this is good for a guy with a heart condition. Hopefully nothing bad happens. I know Triple H gave a lousy answer at the press conference, but I don't know what he was supposed to do. I don't think he did a good job. I'm not saying that. He did a pretty lousy job, and he was in a lousy spot. And he also had a Royal Rumble to do. So guys, I don't know what to tell you. Sit back, enjoy, and one thing you can do to relax, especially if you're in San Diego, is come see me Thursday, April 11th, Claremont Mesa Boulevard, Mic Drop Comedy Club. The link is in the description. Buy a ticket off that website. Go see Bob. We'll tell the jokes. We'll say the stuff. We'll do the things. We'll rub elbows, grease palms. What do you say? What do you know? House tricks, house kids, some weather we're having. I got to transform and roll out. Thank you, Bob Squad.
I'm furry.